Hey, welcome to another installation of AV Insights and Advice. My name is Alan with Clarity, and I'm proud to have Tim from T3 here today. Tim, we're just going to jump into this. We got a lot to discuss today, but one of the things I want to start with is describing the roles, kind of how we play. Now, on the AV production side, obviously, we handle everything from pre-production to ideation, graphic content creation, all the way through execution of the event. But tell us a little bit more about what T3 or GC does.
Sure, so simply, we build the physical manifestation of a brand. And so what we really try to do is take everything, all the hard work and great stuff that you do digitally and make it part of the physical experience. So we do that with you and with obviously the clients together. And I think that's what really makes it special between our partnership is that we really work well together in how we execute something unique for each and individual client to what they need and how to best, either improve a sponsorship journey, but really ultimately for the attendee experience.
That's fantastic. And it is really a red thread theory, like a continuous line throughout this entire process. So let's talk about the complementing of each other. So how do you feel what your services provide complements the production element?
Sure, so back to that physical manifestation. So when you are looking at the production and looking at, okay, what content is gonna look great on the camera? What content's gonna look great on the stage? How do we help, augment that? How do we create the right types of ways that are gonna get people there so they know where they're going? Yeah. Everything from simple stuff like signage, right? But also like, how can we work on stages setting together? That's something I think we do really well together on. How do we look at how someone comes into that environment and how they go out of it? Those are the things that we really think about. So that experience on the stage is that wow factor, but there's little hints and tastes of what they're gonna get as they lead in and lead out.
You ever just give them a little nugget about the future event too?
I love that.
Yeah, just to get them excited enough to want to join us again. So let's talk about partnerships. Why do partnerships between a general contractor and an AV production company really matter?
Well, it's a great question. I don't think that a successful event can really be at its best without a true partnership. And the reason for that is that you can't have offense or defense or any other sports analogy you want to basically draw up work unless you're really working in tandem between a GC and an AV company. And it really comes down to like that physical manifestation needs to be seamless between both what is produced on stage and digitally and physically. And if you don't have that partnership, it just doesn't happen the right way. So unfortunately, sometimes it gets very disjointed. And we work, one of the things that we work so well together on is that it's never disjointed between our teams. So it really comes down to that creative execution and how you can really think about those partnerships early and often.
What's really great too is the partnership extends past the event. And we do a lot of stuff together. We talk a lot. We're on the phone. We're discussing, future endeavors. So it's really nice to have that camaraderie, built into it. How early do you think the partnerships begin in like a general process of building a show?
Earlier the better. Like as soon as we both receive RFPs or already for an event that we both know we're going to work on together. As soon as that client planning starts, that's when we should start.
Or even if the hint of an RFP might be coming, right? We've had those phone calls before. How do you feel the integration between, so there's three parties, entities, if you will. There's the GC, there's the production AV piece, and there's the client. How well, or how is that integration meshed at its best?
That's a great question. I think it really comes down to really open and honest communication. That communication needs to be consistent. And you really have to be honest about what we call the 3 ons: on time, on spec, on budget. All right, so what are those 3 things and how do you best integrate them within that client experience? So every client has what they dream in their head, and that's our job to kind of pull it out of their head and make it so that way it's real. Some clients obviously are amazing at that, and some need more of our hand-holding together. And I think that that's one of the reasons the partnership really works well is to be able to be that kind of translator of what's in their head, what they're trying to accomplish with their sponsorship, what they're trying to accomplish with their attendees, and how we can basically marry that together.
And the transparent communication between the 3 entities is critical, right? So, I mean, that's such an amazing thing to see happen from pre-production all the way through the event. We find that meeting planners just relax and they calm down if you maintain that transparency.
I'm so glad you said that. That's one of our pillars that we talk about often, right? And it's that, it comes down to us, it's creativity, service, and transparency. So creativity can be everything to what people probably are thinking about when they're hearing this in terms of really cool interactive experiences. But creativity also comes down to, as we all know, we're all time constrained in terms of putting an event together. And so, we have an example on one of our big association shows where we reduced, for Toy Fair, where we reduced the truckload times, the previous vendor that had it, from over 20 hours to 45 minutes. So creatively solving those solutions.
That's huge.
Thanks. And so that's the fun part for us. And trust me, we love to be creative in the traditional sense, but in order to get the best creative solutions on the show floor and in the environment, you need to buy time. And so what we look at is like, how can we buy time? And that's one of the things that we also do very well together, is that we know that sometimes when the trust goes up and the AV company cheers, we're like, that's when we get to get started. And so we're like, all right, let's figure out what that right plan is. And let's cheer together rather than individually.
Absolutely. Tim, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate you. I'm Alan with AV Insights and Advice. Thanks, guys. We'll see you again.